And I realized that he was buying one whole life policy a year for a few years when he started working, and yet he was still severely underinsured.
Hi, my name is Zhihan.
Hi, I'm Seth.
Hi, my name is Alvin. I'm a client advisor at Providend.
How I got into the line was purely coincidental. I was approached by my mom's insurance agent back then when I was just fresh out of army. I represented two different insurers from 2009 to 2022 before joining Providend. There were various reasons why I joined Providend, but it was mainly because I am very convinced that the fee-only structure is the only way to eliminate the financial conflict of interest in a client-advisor relationship. In fact, I was so convinced of this structure that I had to pay the insurer, which I was representing, a pretty significant amount in order to join Providend, as I had an agreement with the insurer that hasn't expired.
I guess growing up, I've always been interested in managing my own money and growing my money. But I came to realize that not everyone shared the same interests as me. What drew me into the industry was when I saw my very close family members being sold policies that promised them to the sky, but were in actual fact not so favorable when you dig into the terms of the policies. So I felt that there must be a better way of advising my family and friends, and also my potential clients, and that was how I found Providend.
So I started my career in a tight insurance agency, but I quickly realized that the products there were actually quite lousy and very limited. So I moved out from that environment to an independent financial advisory firm. But I found that certain realities continue to persist, such as the commission-based structure and how people were rewarded based on their production and how much they sold. So I found myself pretty much alone trying to work in this environment where I was actually earning very little, recommending good solutions to my clients. And I felt very, very discouraged. So as a one-man show, I realized that it was very difficult for me to do multiple things like marketing to find new clients, research on products, and being an expert in everything is just an impossible task as a single individual. So in the commission model, there's just some inherent clash of interest that I found it very difficult to overcome. So when I sold a policy that was good for my client, the commission was actually very little. So I actually got by with very little income, and I found it quite hard to survive. So in a fee-only model, I realized that you could now focus on things that traditionally does not generate revenue under a commission model, such as we can analyze cash flow for our clients, we can take a look at their current insurance and investment portfolio, and make recommendations that are conflict-free rather than coming from a point where I have to make a commission from a sale. So our clients tend to be young professionals who are about 5 years into their career, and they have reached maybe middle management, and their needs are a little bit more complex now.
So we typically work with parents with young children. They have accumulated certain level of wealth, and they would like to optimize their resources to cater to their retirement and children's education needs.
Our clients are typically young professionals like doctors, lawyers, IT professionals that earn good income of between about $15,000 to $20,000 per month.
They're often prudent and very good at saving, and they are not overly risk aggressive, and they're okay with taking a conservative approach to their finances.
Clients appreciate our non-forecasting and evidence-based approach towards investing because that provides them with a high degree of certainty towards growing their wealth.
So over at Providend, we have a three-stage process where we help our clients to navigate their finances, and they are namely the discovery phase, where we get a lot of financial information from them, and then we move on to the planning phase, where we research and analyze their finances and come up with a plan that's suitable for their needs, and finally the implementation stage, where we actually execute and carry out the plan. So this process can take up to a few months because we really go in detail into our clients' finances and take time to formulate a plan. And this is quite unlike what I experienced in the past, where we are trying to make the sale in the first meeting if possible.
So we once helped a couple who were drawing very nice income, but always find at the end of the month they did not have much savings left. We did a cash flow analysis and found out that they were committing quite a substantial amount of their income into insurance policies, specifically a couple of investment-linked policies. So our perspective about insurance is that at the end of the day, insurance is still a cost, so we want to use very cost-efficient solutions And investment-linked policies are definitely not the most cost-effective solutions out there. We did some analysis for this couple, and we found out that the investment was not really delivering the returns that they need because of the different layers of fees in the policies. And the insurance component was actually very costly compared to some of the alternative solutions out in the market. So at the end of the day, it still makes sense to separate insurance from investments. So we were glad to be able to help this nice couple manage their cash flow better and also give them a greater confidence in having enough for their children planning and also for their own retirement.
So I recently met a client who was just newly married and intending to start a new family, and I realized that he was buying one whole life policy a year for a few years when he started working, and yet he was still severely underinsured. So it was very important to him that his dependents and his family was well covered. So I looked through his insurance portfolio and I helped him restructure it in a way that he could get adequate amount of coverage at a cost-effective rate.
One very memorable interaction that I've had was with a young couple. They were planning to have kids. The wife would also like to have the option to stop working when their child is born, and both of them aspire to fully retire by age 55. It's a pretty ambitious aspiration. However, as both of them are earning good income, we found out that actually with proper planning, budgeting and investing into the right instruments, it's actually possible to achieve their life aspirations. And they were very glad to find out that their finances can actually support their life goals and life events. And actually having the privilege to serve, engaging them in such deep conversations and also making a positive impact in their lives is what makes what we do over at Providend so meaningful.